Howdy folks, Jamboree here, and today I'm going to be doing a Patron requested review of Lloyd of the Flies. But please keep in mind that I've only seen the 13 episodes that are available to stream in the UK, so you might want to take some of the things that I'm going to say with a pinch of salt. Lloyd of the Flies is an Aardman TV series that follows the scrapes and adventures of Lloyd the Fly, a kid bug who lives in the home of an ordinary human. First of all, can we just address how much guts it took for Aardman to make a cartoon out of the least popular animal of all time? Flies aren't cute, don't look cool, and are renowned for being exceptionally annoying little buggers. Yet Aardman took a leap and launched a TV show that asked audiences to sympathise with one.
See? Perfect flying stance. Forwards or backwards.
So yeah, I already respect Lloyd of the Flies on premise. Heck, Aardman aren't shy about showing the inherent icky side of a fly's life, from Lloyd living in compost waste to casually drinking bin juice. Ugh. Now, I can imagine this all being a huge turn-off for a lot of audiences, but I think it took a lot of courage for Aardman to embrace the baggage that comes with making a fly into their star. Plus, come on, viewers shouldn't be surprised that a show about literal poop-eating flies contains gross-out humour.
Hush.
Speaking of comedy, while Lloyd of the Flies isn't a laugh riot like Wallace and Gromit or Chicken Run, it still harbours the studio's trademark wit. The kind of earnest humour that will make you smile warmly or roll your eyes while smirking.
I've seen Abacus swim, it's more like this.
Be aware too, that this show is geared towards kids who are waking up on a school day morning, so of course the comedy is going to be more juvenile and silly than mature or sophisticated.
Mind-controlling song! Rah, 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 rah.
Personally, I only recall laughing maybe once or twice during my binge of the show, but I didn't mind that when the series has plenty of other charms. One example being the world building for Lloyd's indoor community. This may be an ordinary house from a human's perspective, but from an insect's eye, it's a whole little society. A place where crumbs are a currency, bugs make their own living, and dangerous flying is on par with what reckless driving is to us.
I know how to fly. I am a fly. I'd have been fine if I'd been paying attention.
I especially love how Aardman takes typical household items and turns them into a part of the bug's world. There's a clever imagination to it all that gives a secretive charm and mystique to this underground culture that humans go on to never notice. On top of this, each episode expands on this very world in different ways. So it always feels like we're learning something new about Lloyd's home, from how it functions as a society to what's considered normal to these insects. For example, there's an awkward tension to having flies live with spiders, but the show works around this by changing one spider's diet.
I'm helping Julie transition to a fly-free diet.
I'm going full hamnivore.
However, the series doesn't totally erase the fact that arachnids are predators, because we also get an episode with a genuinely threatening spider for an antagonist. So we're given the best of both for our 8-legged characters. It's quirky details like this that really flesh Lloyd's world out into a universe of its very own.
May I recommend ham? Ham.
What carries the show though, unsurprisingly, are the characters themselves. There's Lloyd, a boy who has all the personality traits of a real pesky fly, whether he's irritating everyone around him, lacking any social grace whatsoever, or insisting that he's the best at everything. However, being a pest doesn't define him entirely, because he can also be a good kid at heart, and he's sensitive enough to help out other bugs. If I was to compare Lloyd to any other cartoon character, I'd say he reminds me a lot of Gumball.
I'm not listening! La 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 la! Don't worry, Abacus, I'll put a stop to this!
Lloyd tends to hang out with his little sister PB and best friend Abacus. Two very different characters that bring their own flavours to the trio's dynamic. Like PB, a kid who shares a very typical sibling relationship with Lloyd. Sure, she can bicker with and annoy Lloyd, but she still treats a big brother like a best friend. It takes a solid bond for a little sister and older brother to casually hang out like mates every day. Just look at the Belcher kids.
Oh, stages have trapdoors, so put a trapdoor in the floor and then it's a stage.
Meanwhile, Abacus's laid-back and chilled-out vibe brilliantly contrasts against the hot-headed and immature Lloyd. Abacus might share Lloyd's interests, but he's too happy-go-lucky and unshaken to match his bestie's short fuse and fragile ego. Sure, Abacus is frequently dragged into Lloyd's hijinks, but he tags along with an adorable, carefree pluckiness and often acts as the optimistic voice of reason.
You can't fly.
I'd still like to be flight aware, if that's okay. Safety is all of our responsibility.
These qualities are why I see him as my favourite character in this show.
Lloyd, where have you been? I was getting worried.
Abacus and Lloyd might differ in ways, but their friendship is all too real, and maybe even the heart of the show. Not only do we get an insightful episode that shows how much Lloyd truly struggles when Abacus is away,
Oh, good grief.
but the very final episode of the series presents the sad possibility of Lloyd leaving the house forever, and it's a genuinely heart-wrenching potential goodbye. An episode that made me realise how close these two are, and how much I'd become endeared by their inseparable bond.
So this is it. Time to go.
Time to say...
I actually choked up a bit at the possibility of this pair being divided, and felt so much relief once we're handed a happy ending. Now, I'm sure that some parents are curious how much educational value this show has. Well, some of the episodes that I watched did actually have some teaching merit. No, don't expect a detailed zoology lesson every episode, but some tales do end up utilizing certain insect trivia for storytelling purposes, like the fact that insects naturally molt from time to time, the metamorphosis of caterpillars to butterflies, or how snails are hermaphrodites that can all give birth.
Dolly! Jabberati! We're fathers.
Our very own acting troupe, we shall be unstoppable.
Plus, the show sometimes features lesser-known insects, like the kind you've never seen in any other animated animal show. Your kids won't come out of this series as bug experts, but they might become interested in learning more about them.
Okay, so this is the main tunnel. Over there is another tunnel. Ooh, that's an ant.
To be honest though, I'd say that most episodes I watch mainly taught valuable lessons about growing up. Kids are very inquisitive viewers and want to learn about the world around them. Lloyd of the Flies will resonate with children's daily lives while also answering their possible questions. Heck, some episodes end with messages that even adults need to hear.
Is that why you've been putting off pupating? Because you think you'll stop having fun?
Well, yes, because I'll be an adult.
Adults can still have fun.
No, really?
Last of all, as you can see, this is one of Aardman's rare CGI projects. But don't worry, the animation style still encompasses the studio's quirky look. Sure, characters don't move like stop-motion puppets, but there's still an effort to make these models look like they were made in a Bristol workshop. There's also a wonderful handcrafted aesthetic to all the backgrounds too, which totally fits a show that goes out of its way to build a world out of household items. I'm also impressed how every episode has the same consistent high quality of animation. Nothing is being cut back or restrained to save on TV budget. The animators have been given free rein to bring lots of fiery spark and vibrant personality to every 3D puppet. And this is what helps Lloyd of the Flies reach Aardman's usual standards, which is an exceptional feat, especially when you remember that every character has multiple limbs.
That is why they call me the Lice Hunter.
To conclude, Aardman took the daring risk of making a cartoon about the animal that everyone wants to swat and managed to create something surprisingly charming and cute. I wish that I could access more episodes because the series really has the potential to become one of my comfort shows. I've been Jambariki and I hope you enjoyed this video. Cheerio folks.